This week, reality TV goes country. We're meeting the stars of the latest season of Fox's Farmer Wants a Wife. Then Grace Tyler is on the show, why she says her latest music was a healing journey for her. Plus, it's one of Rascal Flatts' biggest hits. The songwriter behind These Days tells us the track's origin story. And later, I'm sitting down with Bill Nash and Jimmy Nash. The accomplished songwriter and his son explain their latest Hank Williams tribute project. Well, hello everybody and welcome to Nashville Insider. I'm Casey Mason. It's so great to be back with you for another round of all the exciting things happening in country music. Now, our first interview today isn't promoting a new album and it's not an artist who's hit #1. No, it's 4 words. Farmer Wants a Wife. Jennifer Vickery-Smith met the farmers from the latest season currently airing on Fox. Truly one of the hottest reality shows when it comes to the dating world. I've got the guys right here from Farmer Wants a Wife. How exciting is this to get to meet you guys and how much fun? Tell me about kind of the process of filming the show, and you guys obviously have become great buddies.
It's been great. I mean, it's a little exhausting, but it's been great. We get to hang out all day and have a great time.
Doesn't get much better than that,
yeah,
right?
I mean, we get to hang out with our buds.
Jay's over there rolling his eyes at you already as we go. Okay, who do you think, now that you've gotten to know each other, of the 4 of you, would you say is probably the least likely to have ever ended up on a dating reality show?
All of us?
Well, say Jay, yeah.
I guess I'm going to say Jay.
He's going to say Jay?
Football,
Jay,
yes.
why do you think they would pick you for that?
Well, I don't know. I guess just because I'm an ex-football player.
Yeah, that's the only reason.
Yeah, he's very smooth. I'll say.
about it.
Sometimes I'll damn he's smooth. He's good with his words.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Well,
So you all come from a farming background, all a little bit different from different parts of the country, which is so cool. So just tell me about the process of getting to bring the girls out to the farm and help them experience some of the farm life.
It's wild. I mean, like I always tell people, this show's so different because they come to our homes, our property. Like
Yeah.
my family lives there. That's where I live. Like these girls are staying, some of them in my room, but in my room, like in my house. And so it's so personal. Like they see your life day to day, like my family's around versus some of these shows, they're, often whatever resort somewhere or something like that. So it's pretty interesting in that sense.
John, your journey's been a little bit different. Not only are you pursuing law school, but also have this farming background. You're from St. Louis, Missouri.
Yes.
So tell me kind of what this whole step into the television world and pursuing law school and then doing the farming thing and now trying to find a girl. Like, it's a lot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, law school is, I think many can assume, gets very boring. So when I had this opportunity presented to me, I thought I have to take it.
So I want to hear about one of the crazier things that you actually had these girls do to really see if they could, pass the test. Anybody can answer that one.
Well, yeah, I had the girls stay in the trailer out at the farm, and there was no electricity or water for the first couple days, so
Oh my.
that was quite a test.
Weed them out pretty quick.
Yeah, that would. Yeah. What about you? Either of you?
I had them picking up horse crap, throwing it out of the stalls and stuff. I mean, that was, some of them, they all seem to take to it pretty good, like a duck to water.
They definitely had to pass that test then,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, they did it. They didn't complain that much.
There you go.
A little
there
bit.
you go. Yeah. What about you?
I'm not gonna lie, we're pretty close to the beach and we're in wine country, and most of our farm is different fruits you can walk around and pick, so it's really.
It wasn't too hard. Yeah, I think
It's
I
not
saw
that
some
bad.
clips of the girls pulling some avocados down or something like that.
I
There's a lot
tried to touch Matt's avocados.
Oh, I saw that clip too. Yeah.
There's a lot of wine drinking and
spicy.
shopping going on, so it wasn't that bad.
So they kind of hit the jackpot. Maybe if they came there instead of Florence, Alabama.
yeah.
What do you
But
have?
then they get Jay's.
What were the girls doing out there, Jay?
Yeah, we had them, we had a little gauntlet, I guess, putting their muscles to work. I even had them race one time because I got to make sure I have some D1 babies, so you got to have some good genetics for sure. So.
Well, it's great to catch up with you guys, meet you guys, talk about the show. Congratulations. I mean, this is so fun and so out of your comfort zone, I know, for all of you to step out. So I'm proud of you. I think it's pretty awesome that you're like, you know what, why not, right?
Hey, we went one time.
Yeah.
It's great to meet you as well.
Yeah, there you go. Thanks so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Well, now I can't tell you if Grace Tyler is looking for a farmer, but she is looking for you to listen to her newest music. Nashville Insider's Brittany Weiner got to meet the country artist and find out more.
We are here with Grace Tyler talking about her new music and getting to know you. So for people who are maybe hearing you for the first time, tell us about yourself.
Yes, I'm Grace. I'm from Frisco, Texas. So proud Texan at heart. I moved to Nashville a couple years ago. Grew up playing country music, writing country music, and yeah, it's just taken over my life, and I'm blessed to be able to do this every day.
You have some great songs out already, but you're coming out with some new music. Talk to us about some of those songs.
Oh, thank you. I am super excited. I felt like it was time in my career where I really wanted to focus on a project, and I always say be careful what you pray for, because I was like, I need inspiration. I really don't know what I want to write about. And then I went through a breakup, and God laughed at me. He's like, oh, here's your inspiration, is what I like to say. But it's called Everything I Didn't Say. So it's a collection of songs I wrote post-breakup about the things you'd want to say to your ex, but you silently would like retweet and hope they never see type thing, you know, you're never gonna say it to their face. So it really just was a healing journey, honestly, of writing everything I was going through and just explaining my breakup in a way that was personal to me. And it's been really cool to see just how these songs have resonated with other people as well.
I'm getting tired, I've had enough of fighting for the both of us, but it feels like you don't give a damn.
I think it's so therapeutic for songwriters when you're going through something like that to write about it. I was listening again to I Hope You Have a Daughter, which is coming out soon, and I was like, man, I think we all have people that we want to send this song to. So I think a lot of people are going to relate to it. Has that kind of been the feedback for people who have had this early preview?
Oh, well, thank you. That's one of my favorite songs from the EP. It's the only song I wrote by myself, actually, from the EP.
I hope you have a daughter, and that you give her the world. There's nothing you wouldn't do to put a smile on your baby girl.
The more I thought about that, the more I was like, I think this has to be a song. So it's been cool just to be able to see people crying when they hear this song, that you're like, oh, I thought it was just me, you know, and you realize you're not alone in something that feels so isolating sometimes. So yeah.
You've been finding yourself on some great lists on Spotify. That's a huge thing. I won't try and say it because it's a tongue twister. But, you know, where else can people find you if they want to listen to your music and follow along?
Yeah, absolutely. You can find me on all social media, all the things, the TikTok, Instagram. I'm really excited to be releasing a ton of new music, but I also love to tease stuff that I may not be releasing or just what I'm feeling that day on social media, so definitely follow along there.
Grace Tyler, everyone, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, Brittany. Well, coming up, 370 million streams and counting. Adam Doliak gives us the lowdown on his newest single. Plus, these days wasn't always a Rascal Flatts song. Songwriter Danny Wells tells us the country superstar it was originally pitched to. And after the break, I'm heading out of the studio to chat with Bill and Jimmy Nash, their latest project honoring Hank Williams. That's next on Nashville Insider. Welcome back to Nashville Insider. I'm Casey Mason, and now it's time for me to do an interview. Father and son Bill and Jimmy Nash sat down with yours truly as they get set to debut their Hank Williams tribute project. Take a look at today's Insider Spotlight. Guys, it's so good to see you.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, we're glad to be here, honored.
We've been sitting here chatting for a while, getting to know each other, and I really want to start with, it's not easy to do, but just to recap, as I said, the word prolific career that you've had in Nashville and in the music industry, and then we're going to get to some of these upcoming projects we want to talk about.
Well, currently we're promoting our Hank Williams tribute album, EP.
Oh, Hank.
I have
EP.
to get all into the new stuff, but we're promoting Oh, Hank, and it was just I started my career, and you know, I'm telling you, I'm 80 years old, and I'm proud of that because I'm still above ground and I'm still singing. So I'm in my office and I'm singing a song by Hank. My favorite Hank song was "I Can't Help It If I'm Still in Love with You." And at the end of it, I was thinking of him, and he died in the back of his car at 29. Thinking about these things about Hank, and I'm so sorry that I said that, and then it just came to me, and I think it's a God thing. I always, oh, Hank, I'm so sorry I wasn't there. I would have said a prayer when your soul took flight. That cold winter's night, And then it just kind of went on, and I wrote the rest of that, what I thought, and then my wife and I are co-writers all the time, and then he rewrote and wrote and rewrote.
I worked it up a little different musically, and I actually got Don Goodman, our friend who co-wrote Old Red, and a great songwriter too. We pulled him in, and we finished it up, and it's a letter to Hank.
What I'm really touched by is this it's the first single you're releasing off of this.
Yes. It's out now.
It's out now.
Locked in Your Loving Arms.
Tell us a little bit about, you were the writer, producer on that track.
So it started, actually, we looked it up. We have a little clip from 10 years ago. I was living in New York and they came up to visit. And I said, Dad, you should really do some more traditional country and showcase your yodel like you do on the Hank Williams stuff, before we thought of doing a Hank Williams tribute. And I started it then. And it just sat for 10 years until he said, hey, I'm going to do this Hank Williams tribute. And I'm like, well, we should do these songs. I wrote that one and another one right behind it. So we did that. And he said, oh, this fits my voice. I'm like, well, I wrote it for you.
So, hey, this fits my, I know, I wrote it for you. And if I hadn't been his daddy, he'd have said dummy, you know. So, okay.
There's been other works that you guys have collaborated on. I want to talk about the memoir. That was one of the first things you brought up, and we actually have it here with us.
We have a copy
here. Pops. Tell me a little bit about, I'll ask this question for you first. You read about your father's incredible career in music. You're now in the music industry. Just some takeaways that if someone hasn't picked up this book yet, that they really should.
I think, just talking about, because people talk about what it takes to make it in music, and there's no one answer, but it's the ups and downs, and this really shares, first of all, if you love old Nashville stories. I mean, there's so many. We had so many that didn't fit in the timeline, and I call them Nash notes. And make a little story over here. But I mean, it's just, I think it would be encouraging to people to see, the ups and downs, and when you look back over and say, oh, well, this was hard, this was so difficult, but yet look what we accomplished.
We just enjoyed getting to know you. We've also enjoyed getting to hear the career aspects and some of your stories. But guys, be sure to check out some of these new projects, and we appreciate you hanging out with us. Bill and Jimmy Nash for Nashville Insider.
Thank you, Casey. Thank you very much. We're honored.
Ahead on Nashville Insider, we'll show you one of our favorite performances from the Grand Ole Opry's 100th birthday celebration. And we're going inside the song. Danny Wells explains the backstory behind Rascal Flatts' hit song, These Days. That's coming up today, in fact, in just a few minutes. We'll see you after the break. We're back for more Nashville Insider. Thanks for sticking with us. Well, it's time now for Inside the Song. And this week we sat down with famed songwriter Danny Wells to learn how the Rascal Flatts hit These Days came to be.
Scott Gunter over at Alma Irving hooked me up with a guy named Steve Robson out of London, England. And we got together and we worked on it. He and I did, and Jeffrey Steele came on and helped us and brought a lot to it. And I think the whole second verse got completely rewritten, but there's a lot of Jeffrey Steele genius in there. And it just is one of those songs that was a story song.
Someone told me after college you ran off to Vegas. You married a rodeo cowboy. Wow, that ain't the girl I knew. Me, I've been a few places, mostly here and there, once or twice. Still sorting out life, but I'm doing alright. Yeah, it's good to see you too.
They made the demo, and I was actually writing for the producers at the time, writing for their publishing company. And so we passed it along, and I think it went on hold for Tim McGraw, and then went on hold for Jody Messina. And then Daryl Franklin was the A&R guy, and so he, played it for the guys, and they liked it. And we were on a little trip, Mark Bright and Kelly King, and I can't remember who else. Daryl Franklin. We were down at a place I had in Florida, and Mark looked at me. It was raining one day, and Marty Williams, Mark's partner, was working on the record, and Dan Huff had played the guitar solo and stuff, and Mark looked at me and said, Danny, congratulations. We're in Florida. I said, what? He said, you got the first single off the second record. And that was their first #1, because they had 4 releases on the first album. None of those were #1s. I had the second, actually, and I had the third. I had the second and the third single, Why You Love Me, in this Everyday Love. But the first #1 came from that second record. You just never know. It was just one of those magical things. You know what I mean, we write songs and it really is awesome, but I got to tell you, there's a lot of people in this business, that unsung heroes who make things happen and get songs to people, because without them, no one would have heard it, or musicians that play on songs. And Lonnie Wilson, he's a great friend of mine. He played on all that stuff.
Punch the clock, head for home, check the phone, just in case. Go to bed, dream of you. That's what I'm doing these days.
All right, we've got one more interview to get to right after this break. Adam Doliak is here, and we'll tell you about his new music with Thomas Rhett. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Nashville Insider. I'm Casey Mason. Well, Adam Doliak has a new song out with Thomas Rhett, and the story of why Thomas said yes to duetting on the track is an emotional one. Brittany Weiner has more.
You just released a new song, Bar Named Jesus.
Yeah.
Talk to me a little bit about this song.
It's my first time writing something this deep, if you will, on this subject matter. So the stories I've already gotten to hear from people have just been really special, and it's only a few days into the release now. But I really look forward to seeing where this song lands and who it touches and who I get to meet and talk to about this song in the future at shows or wherever it might be. But yeah, been a really special release.
There's a bar named Jesus where the light stays on, and there's no such thing as too far gone, where the well ain't whiskey and it don't run dry, and there's always room for one pour inside.
Yeah, and then how was it working with Thomas Rhett?
Amazing. You know what?
Sure.
He, so the whole story of how this came together is actually still gives me chills. It's like 9 o'clock in the morning. Thomas Rhett pops up on my phone. I'm like, I need to step out and take this. And I'd already given up on the fact that he was going to maybe be a part of it. And so I answer, and Thomas is crying. And keep in mind, like, I've never spoken to Thomas on the phone before. This is my first time. He's crying. And I'm like, hey, you okay? What's going on? And he goes, man, I just had the biggest God moment I've had in the last few years, and I wanted to tell you about it. And so turns out he had 3 months later just gotten around to listening to Bar Named Jesus. And he was driving down Hillsborough Road here in Nashville. It's the busiest street in Nashville.
Yeah.
And so he's got the song turned all the way up, windows down, and comes to a red light. And this whole story is such a God thing, because a couple things never happened. First of all, there was a homeless guy sitting right at the base of the red light. And he heard the song and actually stood up and waved at Thomas and goes, hey man, what's that song you're listening to? Yeah. Thomas, being the person that he is, said, why don't you come over in the window and listen to a chorus of this song with me? That never happens either. I don't know who would have done that, but Thomas did. And so anyway, he comes over, he said the light turned green, traffic's rolling by them, they're just parked in the middle of Hillsborough Road listening to Bar Named Jesus, and he said the homeless man started crying, and then Thomas started crying, and then that moment is when he called me and said, yes, I want to be a part of the song. I kind of just saw what it can do, and I think it's going to do that to a lot of people, and I want to be a part of that.
I love this. I feel like you're going to be able to share that story probably on this acoustic tour you have coming up, where you're going to have more of these intimate experiences with your fans. What are you looking forward to? Why is this different than a normal tour?
Well, we've done the normal tour the last couple years with the lights and the tour bus and the crew and everything, and they're bigger rooms, obviously, and so throughout that process, before every show, I would do a VIP session show for like 100 fans that paid a little extra to come get a meet and greet and an acoustic show. And after a couple years of doing the band show, I started realizing, I was like, man, my favorite part of the night is this VIP acoustic show that I'm doing with these fans, where there's no script. It's just me and a guitar. They're kind of requesting songs. I'm playing it. Yeah. And you really get to know them. You get to meet all of them and all that good stuff. And I was thinking, like, what if the entire show was that? So that's the idea behind this show, is that every single ticket is a VIP ticket. I will meet everybody that buys a ticket.
I know that Bar Named Jesus will sound incredible on that tour for sure. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Such an incredible song. Thanks, Brittany. All right, next up, some exciting news from two of the most iconic homes to country music, starting at the Country Music Hall of Fame. Well, the CMA has announced the Country Music Hall of Fame inductees for the year, and like always, they're broken down into 3 categories. Fame producer and record exec Tony Brown will enter the hall in the non-performer category. Now, this one is a long time coming. The late June Carter Cash will join the Hall of Fame in the Veterans Era category. category. And finally, bringing those island vibes to the Hall of Fame is none other than Kenny Chesney, who will enter the Hall under the Modern Era category. Vince Gill was once again on hand to moderate the proceedings. During the announcement, Chesney credited 3 other Hall of Famers as his inspiration.
It doesn't seem like it was that long ago that I was a kid in East Tennessee, and I went with my mom and my stepfather to a field about 10 miles from my house to see this group, Alabama, that was going to play. I couldn't believe they were going to play just right down the road from my house. And I went to that show, and something happened to me that night. There was a fire lit. Something happened in my soul that set me on this path.
And now from the Hall of Fame to the Grand Ole Opry, a big celebration for the Opry's 100th birthday. Countless country stars from the many decades of the Opry gathered together for an unforgettable night that was simultaneously broadcast on NBC. And not only that, so many artists that you wouldn't expect to see perform together took the stage. It was performances like The Devil Went Down to Georgia from Dierks Bentley and Jamie Johnson, and Post Malone and Travis Tritt with TROUBLE that were highlights of the night. But the one performance that stole the show was Carrie Underwood's rendition of Forever and Ever Amen, with this emotional moment featuring Randy Travis himself.
I'm gonna love you forever and ever, forever and ever, forever and ever, forever and ever. Randy Travis, everybody!
Wow, incredible. Now you can watch the entire Opry 100 special on Peacock. And we thought we would end our show today with a performance from Opry 100. So here it is. With his hit Chattahoochee, it's Alan Jackson. I'm Casey Mason, and we'll see you next time right here on Nashville Insider.
Well, way down yonder on the Chattahoochee, it gets hotter than a hoochie coochie. We laid rubber on the Georgia asphalt. We got a little crazy, but we never got caught. Down by the river on a Friday night, a pyramid of cans in the pale moonlight. Talking about cars, dreaming about women. Never had a plan, just a living for the minute. Yeah, way down yonder on the Chattahoochee, never knew how much that muddy water meant to me.